All right, let's talk about a term you hear thrown around all the time: IT infrastructure. It's basically the invisible foundation of our entire digital world. But honestly, if you had to define it right here, right now, could you? Yeah, it's tougher than it sounds. So let's figure this out together. So, what is IT infrastructure, really? You've heard it in meetings, you've seen it in job descriptions, but pinning down what it actually means, that's tricky. And if you're a little fuzzy on the details, you are definitely not alone. The truth is, there's no single, clean, universally agreed upon definition, and that's the whole problem. So let's treat this like a puzzle. Why is a word that's so fundamental to all of technology so hard to pin down? We're going to start putting the pieces together, and I promise we'll build a really clear picture by the end. Okay, so check this out. This is really the heart of the confusion. You've got one official government source saying it's just equipment and software. But then a major industry framework, ITIL, says, well, yeah, it includes networks, but absolutely not people. And then another source comes along and insists that you have to include the people who provide support. I mean, they can't all be right, can they? So, how do we solve this mess? Here's the key, the big aha moment. We have to stop trying to find one perfect definition. The secret is realizing that what we call infrastructure, it's all about your perspective. Let's just go back to the word itself for a second. Infrastructure. It comes from Latin. Infra meaning beneath, and structure, well, that means structure. So it literally just means the stuff that is beneath the structure you're focused on. It's whatever is holding up your world. Think about it in the real world, like a city. This is super intuitive, right? The city's infrastructure is the water pipes, the power lines, the roads, all that essential stuff literally running beneath the city that lets everything else happen on top. And this is where it all clicks into place. So let's say you're a business analyst. For you, everything below your business process, the apps, the servers, the whole shebang, that's all just infrastructure. But for the systems manager who's actually running those servers, for them, the building, the power, the cooling, that's their infrastructure. You see? What you call infrastructure depends entirely on what you happen to be standing on. Okay, so if it's all relative, how can we ever talk about it productively? We just be talking past each other. What we need is a shared framework, a model that basically gives everyone the same map to look at. Now, before I show you this model, it's worth remembering this great quote from George Box. No model is a perfect 100% accurate reflection of reality. But this one, it is incredibly useful for understanding how all these different pieces connect. And here it is. This is our map. This model breaks down the entire complicated IT world into a simple stack of layers. Right at the very top, you've got the purpose of the business, and it goes all the way down to the physical hardware humming away in a data center at the bottom. We're going to use this to guide us through the rest of the way. All right, let's put this model to work. We're going to walk through it layer by layer, starting right at the top and working our way down to the very foundation. Everything, and I mean everything, starts right here at the top. This layer is the why. It's what an organization actually does. For an insurance company, the business process might be registering a new claim. And the information is the data itself, like the date of the claim. Without this layer, none of the technology below it has any purpose at all. Okay, moving one layer down, we get to the applications. These are the tools that we actually use to get our jobs done and work with all that information. We're talking about everything from the web browser on your laptop to a super complex customer relationship management system. You know, a CRM. Now, those applications can't just run in thin air. They need a platform to stand on. This layer provides all the essential services that they depend on to work. This is stuff like web servers that show you the user interface, application servers that run the code, and of course, the big databases like Oracle or SQL Server that store and manage all that data. And after all of that, after all those other layers, we finally arrive right here, the core infrastructure. For most folks, this is what they picture when they hear that term. It's the foundational layer of hardware and software that makes everything else we just talked about even possible. So what's in this core layer? Well, it's pretty much everything you'd expect. It's the end user devices, your laptop. It's the operating systems, the Windows and Linux of the world. It's the servers doing the heavy lifting, what we call compute. It's the storage systems holding the data, the networking that connects it all together, and the actual data centers that house all of this physical hardware.
But hold on, our map isn't quite complete. There's one more really important element, and it's not another layer. It's a set of, well, let's call them invisible forces that cut across the entire stack and determine how well any of it actually works.
Take a look at the right side of our model. You see those 3 vertical bars? These represent what we call non-functional attributes. Basically, they aren't about what the system does, but how well it does it. And they are availability, performance, and security. So what do those really mean? It's actually super simple. Availability. Is the system up and running when you need to use it? Performance. How fast is it? Is it responsive, or are you waiting forever? And security. Is the system and all its data actually protected from threats? These 3 invisible forces are what really determine the quality of the entire technology stack from top to bottom. So, there you have it. IT infrastructure isn't just one thing. It's a whole stack of layers that all depend on each other. And what you call infrastructure just depends on your point of view. Now that you can see all the different layers holding up our digital world, it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What's going to be the infrastructure for the next digital world?